Okay, welcome to TROP-CAST episode 40. And if you didn't know, it was our main man. Ronan's not here. I'm kind of missing him because I'm kind of nervous. How's the boys? John, what have you been playing this week?
Funnily enough, Paddy, I've been playing Tarkov, but I've been playing something else as well, so I do have something to talk about.
Go for it.
I'm playing a very good game called Streets of Rogue.
Okay.
It's like a top-down pixel art roguelike game where you have to go from floor to floor, completing objectives to get to the next floor. The whole thing about it is that you can do it. Basically, you can be a diplomat, you can be like a pacifist and try and talk your way out of stuff, or try and bribe people, or do that, or you can get a baseball bat and start swinging and like kill everybody on the floor. It's completely your own decision how you play the game.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really different. I looked a little bit into it. The developers, they've been making it for a very long time, and I could see why, because there's so many different ways you can complete a floor.
Yeah.
And there's so many different objectives and loads of different characters and unlockable characters, kind of like akin to something like The Binding of Isaac, where like there's this big pool of characters you have to unlock, and so many different ways you can do stuff. It's exactly my type of game. I'm playing it for my channel at the moment, so there should be episodes coming out next week. But it's really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. And
have you fallen off the Tarkov wagon?
No, not at all.
No,
I just 100%.
You just need to expand the old gaming scene, put some more different content.
Yeah, because my old content, I was always playing a few games at a time.
Yeah.
And then I took a little break from streaming, and I took like a week and a half, 2 weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
And then on YouTube, I was like, my break was just daily Tarkov episodes.
Yeah.
So now actually the Tarkov episodes, I'm bringing that to every second day, so Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Because even with the daily format, I felt like it was a little bit. I was putting stuff up sometimes, even though if not much happened, I'd be like, right, I'll put up an episode anyway. But
just for the sake of it.
Yeah, if I have 2 days worth of material to cut into an episode, it seems like a better idea. But no, there's more games coming, and I've started off by playing a bit of Streets of Rogue, which I would recommend to everybody. It's like 16 quid on Steam. Yeah. Like, look up trailers and look up people playing it first. I always recommend that, but it's if you like roguelike games, I think you'll like it. It's very good. Happened, I'd be like, right, I'll put up an episode anyway. But
just for the sake of it, it sounds.
Yeah,
it sounds awesome, to be honest. Pat,
really
what have you been playing?
Haven't played much really this week.
Pat was on holidays getting out tan. I can see it, man.
I was on holidays getting out tan. I was playing the game off getting sunburned and drinking too many drinks, along with just one more time. But no, I haven't been playing too much apart from the holidays. But I played a bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. Still trotting away on that.
That's an absolute awesome game. If I finished that in a few weeks, and I couldn't get over how good it was, and it's definitely worth the playthrough if anyone's played it. What have you? Do you go hunting or like the side missions, or do you just go straight for the missions and hope for the best? What do you do? Which way do you go about it?
At the moment, I am literally just interacting with whatever I can interact with, because the story and the acting in it is the only thing that interests me at the moment, because
it's unreal.
Kind of getting sick of third-person shooters, so I am, I'm like, I've had the Division 2 there, then Days Gone, and I'm just sort of worn out in them.
I would delete Division 2. I know Ubisoft, hold their hands up. We get things off them, but that game is awful. To me, anyway, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't mean the negativity, but like just running around shooting bots is just not. It's just not for me. Would you go back?
Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea.
You said, would you go back and play it again?
No, never.
Never ever again. What about the Division 3? Are we going to see a Division 3 come out, do you think?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Most likely, but hopefully not in my direction anyway.
No.
Yeah, just at the moment, I'm glad to have the first-person shooter aspect in Red Dead Redemption 2. Though, you know how you can switch between first person and third person.
Yeah.
That is a saving grace for me, because it freshens it up a bit, and I haven't played a first-person shooter in a long time, so it just excellent. Yeah. But apart from that, I think the map's a bit too big.
That's too big. But I think that's what it's kind of a part of it. Is that a lot of the games like that, there you can get lost in what you're doing and just go off and do the side missions and go hunting for the big bears. And I remember Ronan put up a class video of him hunting down bears and everyone when it came on. That game was so hot when it came out. The whole group was just buying it on day one, and everybody was playing it. And we're putting pictures up. It was one of them games. There is no games this year that are like that, and it's disappointing. Like we had God of War and we had Red Dead Redemption last year, and maybe Resident Evil this year was good. But there's no games that have been doing this so far for me anyway. There's no one jumping on like that. They're making a big deal out of a game, and I wish there was. Rockstar probably do it well.
It depends what sort of like games you're into and the community around the game. Like, if you're into one sort of game, like one game that I saw was Judgment, which came out there I think near the beginning of July, and I follow a lot of people on Twitter that love that game, and the community around it was just buzzing and all into it, and make it like this is the big game of the year.
I suppose it differs in different communities. That's just kind of the way it is. What games like. Yeah, well, I do love a good one-player game. To be honest, if it takes me away from the shooters, that's the only thing that will do it is a good storyline. You know, like Red Dead Redemption was one of them. What about you, Jackie boy? I know you have a platinum for us. Come on, the platinum Jack has to have a platinum. It's just the way it is on this show.
Yeah, basically. But I have actually been playing a couple of games. I will start off with the platinum. You remember a couple of weeks ago I got Knowledge is Power.
Yeah.
I actually got the sequel one, Knowledge is Power Decades.
Nice. What else?
So I was playing that a lot. I've been playing a small bit of Crash Team Racing as per usual.
Have you beat any records?
No, not yet.
Jack, you're letting us
come
down.
on now.
Jack. Right, I'm deleting Jack out of the chat now.
I've kind of strayed away from it for the past maybe week or so because I've gotten back into Monster Hunter World big time again, and so I've been putting a lot more time into that, get through that, and then I've been playing Demon Gaze on my PS.
All right.
Great game.
Cool. You've got a lovely wide selection there, Jack. You're a lot better gamer than I am, I'll be honest. I only stick to the same games. I've been playing. Have you any more, Jack, that you were talking about?
No, there's nothing else that I've been playing this week anyway, but I'll probably have a load more next week with what's incoming.
Have you any platinums lined up for us?
No, not at the moment. I'm still quite a bit off of Monster Hunter Worlds.
Okay.
I think I'm nearly 100 hours into it, and I haven't even finished storyline yet.
Nah, that's madness. But you love a good grind, Jack. The games you picked before. The games you picked before. Remember that Digimon game? Oh my God, Jack, that was. I don't know. I think you're probably still playing it in the background.
And the thing is, the Digimon one isn't even the one I spent the longest time on.
No. What's the longest one?
The longest one I've actually spent time on and I actually haven't done is Final Fantasy X-2. Okay. I've spent maybe 260 hours in that game and I still haven't got the platinum trophy.
No, you blacked out there. Well, Jack, to be honest with you, I have no trophies, and I'm proud of that fact. I don't understand it. I get it. People like going for it and everything like that. There, on to me, I suppose. The only thing I haven't been playing much. I've been very busy. I'm watching the Fortnite World Cup. Took a lot of time at the weekend, but I've been playing Tarkov. Me and Johnny Boy jumped on the other night for a few games. It's still very difficult. It's very hard to get used to. The mechanics, the walking, the just getting shot from nowhere, having the right gear on, costing you to buy. You have to buy body armor, brings your money down. You're sitting at 40 grand. You're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You have to sell everything, jumping back in. It's a brilliant game to learn keyboard mouse on, I think, for what's going on. And I'm very getting much into it. Obviously, as usual, Fortnite. Been playing Fortnite and looking forward to it. So I think we're talking a while now, so we'll get into the news. And today it's a very, very much a Fortnite stream. So if you're not mad about Fortnite, I'm sorry, but it's been massive this week, and we have to talk about it. So what I'm going to do first, we're having trouble with our scene selection, so I'm sorry it doesn't look as professional as our man Ronan does it. But I'm going to click into the patch notes now. I can't see the boys, but you can't see them either, so it's fine. Right. So Season X is coming out. This is today. It came out today, and it does look pretty cool. 100 levels as always, 100 rewards as always. If you want to find out more, go to the announcement blog. It says here, we're just going to go through a little bit. This, as you know, I'm a big Fortnite fan, but this new robot called Brute, I don't understand why they put it in the game. Okay, this is one of the things, like the sword. Why did they bring the sword in? It was silly. If they want to keep this a competitive mode, this robot has to go. I'm sorry, but it's just not for me. It's overpowered as well. It does shotguns. You have to have 2 people in it first, and one drives it, one shoots. So I don't know how they're going to do it. So I haven't turned this game on today because I've been very busy, bit of work. But I know by this, it does 50 damage and does head multi shot by 1.5. That is so overpowered. That for this game. I understand how to get shit, and then you can get materials from chopping things with the robot. That's overpowered. They need to get rid of it. They've done a lot different. They've changed up the meta massively with this update. Whatever happened in the Fortnite World Cup, it's going to be a completely different game now, because the ballers are gone, the quad crash are gone, the flint knock, the shadow bomb. These are all mechanics to get around the map, and they're needed. If you watch the end of the Fortnite World Cup, the shadow bomb was a great way to get from one point to the other, and it gave people a chance. But they're taking it out. They took the baller out. That was a massive thing in the World Cup as well, to get people around. So they're changing the meta completely, but that's what they do, is to keep it fresh and to keep it going.
You probably have to, yeah.
Yeah, 100% have to, yeah. I don't know if the boys looked at this, but the events, this is a big thing. This is how they're going to keep it fresh again. I know I said that already, but they're doing a new game, arena mode, just like the World Cup. In the season, you can be crowned the top person of the season. So they're making everybody compete. So obviously you're going to see the people that were in the World Cup come into this and be a lot better than they were, and trying to be the best of the season. And there's going to be money at the end of this. So, but they're doing the thing where, do you know, like in baseball and stuff, the points are always like mad, and even tennis, and they're all doing the high points. They've changed this around. It used to be like 1 point for this, for a kill, 5 points for top 10, all this, but they're having to change it to like massive numbers. So you get eliminations, you get 20 points for solo. I don't see the point in this. 25 for 60, top 25, 60 points. It's just to make it look better. All they're doing is solos and trios as well, and a bus fare as usual. I don't know. None of you guys play Fortnite at all, do you? Jack would play it a bit. We used to have a great crack on it.
Yeah,
that's all really I have to say about the Fortnite. The patch notes. Anyway, have you anything to say about the boys?
What I was going to say is, like, I know you're saying like it destroys the meta, and not destroys the meta, but it's just it's overpowered.
Yeah.
But it's overpowered the brute I'm talking about now and all that. Yeah. But do you not admit though, yourself and your buddy, all right? You come across that. Would it not be fun just to give them a little ride around the place? Would it not be fun?
Yeah, no, I get that, but I think with these kind of stuff, they should bring them out in their own game mode and have it separate from the original game, because it's a very much competitive game. Like, it's massive at the minute. Yeah, and when they do stuff like this, it's just silly. They always do it, and it's only to create hype behind the game. I guarantee you that will be gone out of the game in a few weeks. They did that. They got rid of so much stuff already that they bring in and get rid of. That's how to keep it fresh, I suppose, and it's good. But the time they brought the sword out, I don't know if you remember, that was an absolute. They got rid of it in 3 days or something. People were just going around winning the game with the sword and just completely destroying the meta. So, like, if they want to keep it competitive, they need to I suppose changing it up is not bad, but putting Broom in, it's just not for me. I just don't understand why they've done it, to be honest.
And how do you think it's going to work in solos if it's a 2-man?
I don't have a clue. I think you jump in and jump out, you keep going between them. So you have to drive, then jump into the yoke, and then drive, and then jump into the yoke. I don't understand. It's just made for duos or trios. They must have I think they took duos out. I'm not really too certain. But what about you? Do you think anything, Pat or Jack?
From what I've seen of it, I've seen a few clips of the brood being used, and does not look pretty for the players fighting against it.
Yeah.
It just demolishes everything, and there just seems to be no hope against it.
No.
It's like fighting the Terminator with your bare hands. It's not going to work. You're going to die.
Yeah.
That's what I get from it anyway.
No, but Fortnite's do, like, you can't say anything against it because they're going so long and they're so up there. It's unbelievable. So I don't know. They know what they're doing. I can't really tell them what to do. It's just an opinion, you know, that kind of way. Jack, what about you? Anything?
From what I've seen, from what I've heard of this robot, it's definitely going to go down the Thanos route. It's just, as you said yourself, it may take 2 people to drive, but also, as Pat said, it's not pretty to fight against. If you remember correctly, back when Thanos originally got brought out into 4, how long was it? Was it not even? It wasn't even a week, if I remember correctly.
No, that was only its own game mode. That's the right. To be honest, that's the right way to do it for me. I think they have to have their own game mode and take it out of the like. It shouldn't mean like contender series, right? It's just silly.
I agree, but what I'm saying is even if they put it in their own game, if it's as overpowered as what it seems, they do need to nerf it down a bit. Because remember the outcry over Thanos that time. It may have had its own game, but people still complained about how powerful he was because he was just.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I, as I said, I think game mode, I have no problem with that. That's what I think they should do. Anyway, we'll move on.
You love.
Sorry, John.
I was going to say you love the gimmicks, Paddy, don't you? You loved it when they introduced it.
No, I don't. I hate it. I've been playing the game I'm playing the game 2 years and I'm still not good at it, and it hurts my feelings. All right, we'll move on to the next piece of news, and it's not Fortnite, guys, so don't be worrying. Where are we? Forget Crash Nitro and Sonic Team Racing. We now have a contender for top racer, Garfield Kart. Furious Racing is making its way into PC this November. This is the second game from Garfield. I never played the first one. I didn't know it existed until this week. I'm only putting this in here because it seems to be jumping on the bandwagon of the karts. There's a lot of kart games coming out. I personally haven't played any, but Jack and Pat have. I know they've. Or Pat, have you? Maybe you haven't.
I have, yeah. Team Sonic Racing all the way.
Would you use even try and go for this game? It seems like it's just a gimmick, maybe. I don't know why they're doing it, because they brought out one years ago. I think it was on the PS2, but this is the second one. So, Jack, would you give it a go?
The funny thing is, I actually looked into this a bit more. This is actually a port from, or a remake and a port nearly from.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't know that now.
It was released 6 years ago on Steam, and I was looking into it a bit more, and it looks very strange. It doesn't look like you're.
This is not the.
It looks like a stranger.
This is definitely not the second one from that, Jack. I thought that was what it said.
No, there was one on Steam about 6 years ago, so I was looking into it. Somebody actually has 21,000 hours in the Garfield. 21,000 hours logged on Steam.
Are you sure you just didn't leave it on?
I don't know. But
I hate Mondays, guys.
The worst part is
biggest Garfield fan.
Yeah, biggest Garfield fan ever. Pat, you don't have a PC anyway, lads. You just can't buy it. So.
Getting released.
That amount of hours sounds painful.
Yeah, but to be honest, boys, I wouldn't like to look in the hours of some of the games I have because it's just ridiculous.
Aren't they adding that into a new patch? Or
I know it's already there. You can look. You can look how many hours you have on it. I think.
No, he's talking about in the PlayStation.
Oh
yeah.
PlayStation patch. Yeah. Apparently so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a little bit of controversy next, lads, and it's the same old with companies that want more money. So, speaking of car racers, CTR now has microtransactions, and fans are furious. Is Activision being greedy, or is it something the fans wanted? I don't think so. And this will be the final nail in the coffin for CTR NF fandom after the online bugs and glitches still haven't fixed after Master's outcry. Okay, I didn't write that. So
my bad.
I don't know if it's the nail in the coffin. That's a bit extreme, but we'll try it anyway.
No, but the thing is,
go on, Jack.
The thing is, though, you would be surprised at how bad backlash has been over these microtransactions.
Okay,
it could actually end up being, because originally when Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled was announced at E3, they originally said there will be no transactions of any kind in the game. Has been out just over a month now, and they're actually adding in microtransactions with the new Grand Prix that's starting tomorrow.
Okay, and what can you actually buy, Jack?
Just skins and carts. That's all you're really buying. You're not buying anything to. It's not a pay to win kind of thing. It's just cosmetic. I
don't like, to be honest with you, if they give you the option that they want you, like, yeah, it's an option. You don't have to do it. You don't have to buy it. It's not a pay to win system. The pay to win system is very bad. I don't like it in games. But like, if they put it in and say you can if you want, do you know what I mean? I don't see anything wrong with that in my opinion anyway.
You see, that's the thing. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, but it's optional." But then you've also got the other side of the fandom. But they've lied to us. They said to us they wouldn't add it in, and then they've added it.
Oh, I get you.
At the same time, there's also the other side of the fandom that are like, we don't have the time to be grinding out these coins when they nerfed how much you get on the weekends, how much you get. A lot of people are afraid that this will be the downfall of the game because they're expecting them to nerf the coin or one coin earn rate even more than it already is. Like for some races, you might only get about 20 or 30, and most skins cost about 2,500.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are expecting that to happen, and then other people aren't. It's just getting very, very messy on both sides.
Yeah, it's kind of one of them things though where it'll be a big thing for a couple of weeks, and then it'll calm down, and people will still play. Like I think if the game is good, you're going to stick around. If you don't have to buy the skins if you don't want to. I understand people saying that you lied to us. Why did you say that? They do it all the time. It's the companies are out to make money. Like they're owned by the public, a lot of them, and they need to make money for their investors. And if microtransactions is the way to do it, I don't see a problem with it. What about you, John?
And you were saying as well. So you were saying as well, Jack, that it was you're saying it was grindy anyway, didn't you? Even before that. Sorry, Pat. Yeah.
It's okay. Do you want to go ahead there first?
No, you want to hit Pat. No,
I was just saying that they said basically that the microtransactions weren't going to be in this game.
Yeah.
And that we should hold gaming companies accountable for this. Because this is what they promised. If you're not promising a product, then it's very shady of you to do so.
That's 100% true.
I think the biggest example of how this messed up a company before is Bethesda with Fallout 76 and how they messed up on so many levels, and yet
that was just a hole in the wall. That game should just be buried with what was it called? The Atari game E.T. Remember that one?
Oh God, E.T.
But we have to keep on reminding them of this to a certain extent so that they don't do it again. That they know that they can't get away with such shady business deals within the industry.
Activision has been doing this for a while. Like, it's nothing new on their part.
No.
That's
Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
That's the point, though. Like they shouldn't be allowed to do this. We shouldn't be going like, it's okay. It's only cosmetics.
Yeah.
But if they say it's not going to be there, it should not be there.
No, that's 100% true. And if they come out publicly and say things like that, they should stick to it. I know it's going off topic here, but the UFC, BT Sport, they did the same thing. They did a few months ago. They said that they're never, if you get the subscription, that you can watch all the fights right there, and they're after changing it to pay-per-view. Yeah. I don't know how the companies get away with it. What they do is they put up terms and conditions and send it to people, and people don't read it and click, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? You agreed. You changed the contract. I've done my part. You've done your part. Let's move on. That's just the way it is. They're shady. Every company's shady. It's business. Corporates. They're a lot. Unfortunately, they're in gaming. We don't like corporates in gaming. To be honest, none of us do. When you're gamers, you don't really like a corporate mentality. You kind of have your community standard, and you want to keep it fresh. Kind of with everybody. But I think. Go on, Johnny.
Also, it kind of alludes to what you were saying earlier, like and what Pat was touching on as well. Like, the reason why they do it is because people will forget about it
100%.
2 or 3 weeks from now. And they know this, and they know they can pretty much, unless it's an absolute mega farce, like we'll say the Battlefront 2 microtransactions, because that was paid to win, and people just would not let up about it. But something like this, it irks back to like even No Man's Sky, when they said like this is definitely multiplayer. It's just that the world is so big, you will never see your friend. And then once they debunked that, it was like, oh yeah, that was a lie. Now, even how big that controversy was and how much they lied about it, No Man's Sky has kind of seen a resurgence over the last few.
I have never played that game or even looked at it being played. I'm not really sure. There was another space game I played that's massive. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to think of it. Did you play? Any of you played No Man's Sky?
I played a little bit. I got it. I got it at launch.
Yeah, it did look awesome when they were talking about it. You go to all these planets and you can find people and you can do this and you can do that, and then they went there and it was a blank bloody page nearly.
I'm not going to lie. I get the controversy and I get the fact that it died. I played it for about a week or two. I still kind of enjoyed it. I still liked it. I actually liked going from planet to planet. I liked the space traveling, and I liked the collecting the resources. Maybe I'm easily pleased, and I get why people were so mad, but it was he's gone. But it was I did actually like it, but I see where people are coming from.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know if Pat is coming back. We'll move on a little bit, but before I move on, I would like, if everybody who is watching, if you drop a like and a follow, I would really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. I don't know where Pat is, but we'll have to move on.
Can I move back to CTR for just 2 seconds?
Yeah, no bother, Jack. Work away.
You were saying about how that it's not, or it's about the people are going to forget about the microtransactions in CTR in the next couple of weeks, and then they're just going to be grand.
Okay.
The problem being is there's been a lot of public outcry about the game already. Like there's been bugs in the online is still peer to peer. It's not server based. The amount of bugs, glitches, everything in the game have not been patched out. People are still going mad over it, but yet they're perfectly capable of doing this. So the thing is, if they don't come over and then start fixing all these bugs and glitches and everything, this microtransactions are just going to turn people off the game even more, because who's going to want to play it when they're not going to fix what needs to be fixed, but add in new stuff that doesn't need to be there?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I get you. To be honest, when it came out, it was, to me, it's one of them games that's a remake and it's just bought for 40 quid and you play it for a while and then you move on. Yeah, it's just not for me. You know what I mean? I don't really play these games. Like Spyro and Resident Evil, all these games came out and they were brilliant and stuff like that. But this CTR, they seem to have released it very badly and didn't make it right first, and it's on them to make it better. Here comes the main man. There you are.
Sorry, my internet just sort of atomic bombed itself.
It's no bother, buddy. We're going to move on anyway from that fantastic. Like, the game needs to be fixed. That's kind of the last word on it, Jack, isn't it?
Pretty much.
We have another battle royale to talk about, which is weird. Oh Jesus! Apex Legends. Apex Legends is one of EA's biggest cash earner, and CFO Blake Jorgensen believes Apex Legends will be a big money spinner for the next 10 years, no less, and it's now one of EA's most reliable cash generators, along with FIFA and The Sims. Also, Apex Legends has a continuous 10 million player base and has also announced the Apex Legends pre-season invitational that'll be held in Poland come September, featuring 80 teams competing from across the globe for a prize fund of $500,000, around £410, Australian $725. The Australian dollar has plummeted as far as I can see there. So they're kind of jumping on what I think that they should do, which they have to do. The player base is not as good as it was at the start. At day one, it was 20 million. They're down to 10 million, and that could be a couple of things, that they're bugs and they weren't fixing the game for a while. But I think they're jumping on thing. Like, EA is doing the right thing with this game at the minute. They're playing a lot better. They have to go with this the esports way to get people to compete. Everybody wants to compete. That's the way it is. That's a lot of money. 500 grand is a lot of money. Have you guys, any of you guys, ever played Apex? I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you have. Pat, what do you think of Apex anyway? For to start.
I thought Apex, it's a solid first person shooter. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good, so it is. But at the end of the day, it has the one thing I hate about battle royales, and that's the fact when you're dead, you're pretty much gone, and you're not really getting much out of the game. Like, I know you can be brought back, but
no, I get that.
It never really happened that often for me.
Jack, Pat, I'll jump on with you, buddy, and we'll have a few games, and we'll keep you alive. John, what do you think, bud?
No, yeah, I played a nice bit of it, like not too much, but a nice bit of it when it came out first. It was cool to see, because like they pretty much brought in the whole respawn system. Your team can,
it was taken,
and like then
Fortnite took a lot of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like they innovated so many things like that that was taken in other shooters as well, other battle royales.
It was the best launch of a game I've ever seen. It was
the surprise launch.
The surprise. It was unbelievable. They had every streamer playing it. They had Ninja playing it. They had Tim the Tatman. They had all the biggest ones. Cypher. They got everyone to play it and pushed the first day, and it was the best launch of a game I've ever seen.
And even with that launch, what really helped it as well is that I know there was a few bugs and all that as well, but you think of a lot of like day one online multiplayer games, like they're usually, sometimes they're borderline unplayable. They actually had a pretty smooth run as it came, so like there wasn't really too many people having too many problems on the first few days of its release. Do you know what I mean? So it really, for a game to come out, for it to be fun, for it to have like innovative mechanics like the respawn thing that
what do you think of this? What do you think of this pre-season invitational? Like, what do you think is a good move on their part?
Oh
yeah. Are you going to be entering, Paddy? Are you?
I don't really play it that much. To be honest, I am probably better at Apex than I am at Fortnite. But Fortnite just gives me something different. I don't know what it is. At one stage in Apex, I was like 5th in Ireland for kills, and that was massive for me. Like, I was really good at the game, but my PlayStation wasn't able for it, so I stopped playing it. But I cleaned the PlayStation at last, lads, and it's like a brand new machine. I swear to God, the noise, it's heaven now. I can stream now without going. In the background.
Your PS4 was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Don't disturb me when I'm cleaning my room. I don't know. I'd like to see some Irish players jump in this and try and compete. I might go back to it and try it. Try and compete in it. I haven't never done the competitive mode in Apex, and it probably would be very good. I love the speed of Apex. It's a lot faster than Fortnite. Like I played with Wraith, and it was just you were just free. And you're just running like that there, and it was brilliant. It's just a completely different battle royale, and it's very good. I hope they put more into it and fix the bugs and try and change the map up and do this and do that. And it was grand. So we can move on from that there. This is just kind of a small wee thing, but the Nintendo Switch Lite has become available to pre-order a week. It's €100 cheaper than the original Switch. The Lite Joy-Cons cannot be removed. Do you think it'd be a problem that they can't remove them, or is it just it'd be grand? I suppose it's so small you can't really do anything about it. What? There's something about the Joy-Cons. They have to replace them all, don't they? A lot of them are drifting or something. Any of you hear that?
Yeah.
There's a massive lawsuit over that one.
Yeah. Any of you going to pick up this Nintendo Lite?
I'm not going to, but just because I already have a Nintendo Switch, I get it. It's for people, I reckon, who don't have one already. That's what, because I don't see the point of it, because it's not like the Nintendo Switch, the original, is like this big massive lump that like, I have to carry this thing around, it's so big and heavy. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty portable as it is, and especially if you have a case for it. But I can see.
Do you think the Switch is a glorified handheld?
I don't think so, in all honesty.
I will say I do use it mostly handheld, but that's just me.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I think it is just on the Lite there. I think it's missing out on its biggest selling point. The Switch is a great hub for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Anytime my friends have a switch it into the TV, and then you're playing Super Smash Brothers where they kill me, and Mario Kart where they also kill me.
Super Smash Brothers would nearly be as big as Zelda on the Switch, wouldn't it? It's nearly as popular. It's massive, like Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah,
probably.
Yeah. Or is it bigger than Zelda?
Wouldn't be bigger than Zelda, but it is definitely up there.
Yeah. Okay.
He's up there.
Do you own a Switch as well? You do, Jack, don't you?
I do indeed.
It's a great little handheld for like Pokemon and stuff like that. People love the Pokemon games coming out on it.
The funny thing is, I don't actually use it in handheld mode very often. I actually keep it docked and plugged into the telly and play it.
Plug it in.
I've got
there's nothing better than a big game on a big TV. You know what I mean? Like, the handhelds are grand if you have no other choice. If you're out in the middle on a bus or something, that'd be great.
The thing is, though, it looks beautiful in handheld mode. Everything looks absolutely fantastic, but playing Breath of the Wild on a big TV with the Switch docked is just a completely different experience than having it handheld.
I get you. Well, I don't know. I'd be tempted to pick one up. I might get maybe my daughter was a bit older. I'd probably buy one for her because it's great for kids. The Switches are very much focused on the younger generation. That's what I love about Nintendo is they stick to what they want to do. They don't care what Sony's doing. They don't care what Xbox is doing. Nintendo's Nintendo, and they do it right. And they just stick. They don't care about high definition. They're going for a big massive graphics, or they don't do any of that stuff. They just stick to their original plan, and it works so well. It's brilliant. I do. Marketing is unbelievable.
Mario Maker 2 as well on it is. Mario Maker 2 is very, very addictive. One of the best games I've played on it, honestly.
Is it?
Yeah, really, it's really fun. It's just, like, if you love running Mario levels, it's an endless supply of Mario levels.
Yeah. Mario's unbelievable. Mario's unbelievable. That game will never die.
Good.
That'll never die. Like, unbelievable.
No, so good.
Talking of games that'll never die, we have another Fortnite announcement. Last weekend, too many people over the globe turned in to see the massive esports tournament, the Fortnite World Cup, which seen 100 players on Saturday playing for the duos crown, which was won by Nerox and Aqua. I was watching the duos, and it was good, but it was a little bit. It wasn't as good as the Sunday, which was the solos. I don't know why it wasn't. Maybe it was just the duo. It's not as exciting or something, but it was brilliant to see so many young players competing for gaming, and every one of them, I'd say the experience is unreal, that they'll never forget. and they did such a good job. The average age was 16. That just shows you that they will never make it. I'm 31 and I won't have the reaction speed to be that good at a game, and that's unfortunate because I want to. And then on the Sunday, another 100 people complete. 100 people, including friend of the show, Lol Boom, compete for $3 million. It was very entertaining, and Kyle Gearstoff, I think that's his name, aka Bugga, won with nearly double the points of his nearest opponent. He was about 3 points off doubling his points. He was crowned the best Fortnite player in the world, which is unbelievable. He took it in his stride. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, he did it. He just walked up, and it was just like he was very calm and he was down to earth. And we have to give him respect for it. He took the calm that day and he took it and he won the game. Lol Boom came 58 and put a great performance. He brought home 50 grand, which is unreal. Yeah. I don't know. I tuned into both days. I was streaming it with Ray, which was brilliant. Emerald Outlaw. The two of us sat and watched, and actually. Kim actually joined us as well, and we streamed for the 2 days. It was very entertaining, lads. I know you probably didn't have a try, but I actually loved watching it. It was like unbelievable. Did any of you get to catch anything from it?
No, I literally what I saw was freaking the man, what's his name, Bunga, just literally lifting the trophy.
Yeah. Was that my video?
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll stick it to you now, right? In the form of esports, do you think that this is bringing a step forward to actually being a high profession, that it'll be accepted in the norm, that to the normal people, that they're not real gamers, that they're going to accept this? Like, this is a serious amount of money, and it just shows you what is in it. Fortnite has made billions of money off this. Do you think that this has brought this a step forward in the gaming world? Has Fortnite changed something last weekend?
John? You see, I think like if you think about it, like we're all roughly, I don't know if everybody is here, but I'm in my 30s anyway.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s. So the two boys are a bit younger.
And basically, like, I think even if you're our age and you don't understand games, because like my parents or something, like when they look at video games on the screen, right? Yeah. They'll say, and there was lads just moving around. I couldn't understand what was happening. No. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like they actually can't. Some people, I'm not saying everybody, cannot comprehend literally what they're seeing. So I can see people like that couldn't really get into it. But I think we're in our 30s. I think even if you don't play video games, you kind of understand them in our age group, and you'll be able to follow what was happening. So I think even 10 years, 20 years, when we're in, I know it's happening now, but I think just as time goes on, it's just going to become the new norm when people just know about it. And people are able to watch it, and people are like, oh yeah, Fortnite, that old gem from 10 years ago. And
I think it'd be... a lot of people were saying that the young people would be spending too much time sitting playing games. I think if they had if they went out and done things as well, exercise at the same time, I think it would be fine. That's what they have to do. Don't be sitting at a computer all day trying to be the best in the world, because you need your exercise. You don't want to be getting sore and everything. You need to pick up your exercise and go for it. I honestly think it'd be brilliant. I think last weekend was unbelievable. What about you guys? What are your opinion on it bringing esports forward, Jack?
Honestly, I can see it making it a lot more socially norm, or bring it to the social norm a lot more now, that because the Fortnite World Cup has had such traction in the news, and then seeing it's all younger people actually who won it and who came in higher places. A lot of people are going to be looking at it more, saying, you know what, it's not that bad of a move for some people to do, because in all honesty, like, there was a newspaper article there, I think it was last week, where some father pulled his kid out of school to train him as an esports gamer.
But I remember that, yeah.
The only problem I see with the whole esports thing becoming a big career move for a lot of kids, a lot of esports legends typically retire before their 30s.
Yeah, probably do that. I think the reactions drop.
So
it's dropped down. I don't know why it happens. It's unbelievable that it's just natural. You don't have the same capabilities as the younger generation. It's straight. The average age is 16. That's just nuts. Do you know what I mean? What's his name was there? I can't remember now. We'll have to forget about that one. What about you, Pat?
Well, obviously, esports has been growing very big over the last few years, but I think this has really sort of pushed it beyond what it's ever been. And this has been like the biggest probably esports event globally.
Yeah.
Worldwide, like
I think it is.
It's been in the news.
I can't say it is because I'm not sure, but I think it is the biggest one that has ever come on. I've never heard of anything else, but there could be. You know the way you don't know about some events that could be held in China or something. You never know. You know what I mean? But to me, anyway, it is the biggest. Sorry, Pat. Continue. Are you there? I think we lost Pat.
Can I just say, Pat, the only one that had even come close to being anywhere as near as popular, even though it doesn't get as much traction, would be the Evo fighting tournament.
Yeah.
Now that would be what most would.
Has League of Legends done anything or anything? That's a game that's been around and it has a big esport following. Has it ever done anything this big?
League of Legends has had some massive tournaments, nowhere near as big as the Fortnite one, especially when cash prizes are involved. I still think it was something like 2 or 3 million for first place. But at the moment, the Fortnite World Cup and Evo are definitely the 2 biggest ones to be
on this weekend. Weekend as well.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine how many kids were watching the weekend saying, "That's it, I am playing Fortnite." They seen some young lad, 16 years of age, walk up and win 3 million quid. Imagine sitting around. If I was that age again, I'd be like, right, this game, I am playing it. I'm getting to next year's World Cup. That's it. And it's pushed. This game has pushed even more. I bet you the player base, it gets nearly 1.5 times what it is now. That after this World Cup, we can move on anyway because we've loads to go through here. There's more to talk about competing wise. It's a big thing in the gaming world at the minute that people are competing at all levels. PlayStation are introducing PS4 tournaments Challenger Series starting next week. We have a quote from the PlayStation blog and it reads as follows: "We're inviting gamers of all skill levels to play and enjoy competitive online gaming from the comfort of their own homes on a PS4 console. We're kicking off the PS4 tournaments Challenger Series on the 6th of August with Mortal Kombat 11, followed by FIFA 20, Battlefield 5, Warface and other AAA titles coming this year." So this is a good move from PlayStation to jump on the wagon of esports. I don't know, would you ever compete at anything that they're after talking about? Would you be able, like maybe Mortal Kombat? Jack, do you like any of them kind of fighting games?
I would give Mortal Kombat a go, but I'm more along the lines of Tekken and everything like that. If they even said themselves they're adding more games later on in the year, so that could be absolutely anything. Pat brought up earlier, they could add Sonic, they could add Crash Team Racing, they could add Tekken 7. There is just so much that they could add into this tournament stuff that it could end up being anything. So there could be something for everyone to take part in. I know for a fact if there'll definitely be a couple of games if they add them in that I'll take part. You know?
Yeah, 100%. What about you boys? Anything you play?
FIFA, definitely. If they did FIFA, I would definitely 100% give it a go because why not? I wouldn't expect it. I don't think like the best player at FIFA even probably on my street, but like I still love playing the game. Yeah. Like, I know how to play it and I can win games when I want to, but I absolutely adore it and I definitely give it a shot. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to definitely go back to Ultimate Team this year. I'm definitely when FIFA 20 comes out, we're going to go once a week.
Pro team, yeah,
pro club. Sorry, what did I say? Ultimate Team, sorry, Pro Clubs. Yeah, Ultimate Team, no, I have no interest in that, to be honest.
100%.
Jack, what about you, Pat? Would you play anything if you're back?
Yeah, I'd play a few things if they brought them to it. Like Soul Calibur 6 would probably be the one that I'd jump on, or Dragon Ball Fighter Z. If those 2 games came, because I'm actually mildly good at them.
Okay.
There'd probably, if other things that I have, if it's simply like if Wipeout had a tournament on, I'd try it just for giggles, even if I was, absolutely trash at the game. It honestly just depends if I have the game when it's on.
Yeah, I get you. I suppose we go to the next. We're going back to a little bit of a harsh topic here, but the winner of the Fortnite Club or Fortnite World Cup was Booga, and he won 3 million, but he got really, really highly taxed, and he walked away from 3 million. He probably walked away with 1.5 million. New York took the money off him, and the state took the money off him. Do you think this is fair? That this happened? That's so amount of money just to be taken off somebody for winning something. I don't know. Maybe why is it considered? Is it considered gambling or what? Like why did they take it off?
It could be. It's very similar. What it's very similar to in America is when people win the lottery in America. you know when people actually win like 500 million or
Yeah.
whatever, like that gets they only actually see about half of that. It's just the way the whole tax system works in America. I don't. Like, it could be the same here. I'm not sure. I know it's very much the way it works in America because you see people talking about it online. So I think it is the norm. But I can see how it is like annoying where it's like 3 million prize fund, then they give you your check for 1.5 million, which is still a lot of money, but it is a bit of kick in the teeth at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. What about you guys?
Well, as John said, it's typically seems to be the case with a lot of styles of winning large amounts of money in America. But at the same time, it could be because of his age. Yeah, it's just an idea. But with him being 16, winning $3 million.
Yeah, but I don't think it would matter about his age. I think that's probably the tax bracket. Because it's bad in every country, to be honest. That's a lot of money to be taken off. That kind of makes me think how much money the rest of them got. Like, if he walked away with 50 grand, did he only walk away with 30 grand? Do you know how much did they take? Is it 40% after a certain amount? Like it's absolutely nuts. They took it. America's very strange in that way that they have state laws and then they have federal laws, which is the whole country or whatever. They do that, which is strange to me. I don't think they do. We don't have states here, like whatever we have. But to me, it's a very high tax, and I don't think that they should do a tournament in New York again. For that, they should find another state that do it for less, because these lads are training and they deserve the money they get. At the end of the day, Fortnite is making billions, and they should, if they want to give away the money, they should, not the government to take it off them. I suppose, like, to be honest, if I got 1.5 million, I wouldn't be complaining. But it's still a lot of money to be taken off somebody. Can he claim it back? Like, what way is it going here?
It's probably also kind of a way to bolster up the numbers of like what they're giving to him as well. Like, I know like if they said, does it sound better 3 million cash prize, or is it better to hear 1.5 million after tax? Do you know what I mean? You leave
after tax. Imagine
do you know what I mean?
that.
Like, but I'm saying, like, if it's because they don't have to say the after tax. They say 3 million and people go, ooh, 3 million, that's loads, and they get the news article. They get the news articles and they get everything, but like they're not lying, because like they usually have to say after tax. So I think it's another way of just just bolstering up what the prize money sounds to outsiders. I think is a little bit of it as well, but I could be, because it should be my conspiracy brain going.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's a harsh thing to see after watching and being so involved, thinking, oh, this little lad's going to get 3 million quid. It's unbelievable. It's such a great story. And then to take 1.5, it's not like he's going to go out and buy a flashy car. He's only 16. Do you know what I mean? But he's going to be flashing cash anyway. He was on the talk shows and everything this week. He's an absolute star at the minute. He was definitely head and tails above everybody. He was a brilliant player. Like, to get nearly double the points of somebody in that mode is just ridiculous. It's so hard. The editing, the fighting, it's just ridiculous. You've anything else to say on this? No, Pat, no.
Well, here what's been said has basically covered the topic. Like, it's kind of unfair, but at the same time, I think he's still happy enough to go away with 1.5 million. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's true. No, it's true. It's true. I suppose it's just the way of the world. Taxes have to be paid.
Yeah.
The country has to move on, and just the way it is. We're going to move on to our top of the week, and we've been talking a lot about battle royales, and that's what we're going to talk about now. Like, has battle royales taken over the gaming scene in the world? It's so massive at the minute. Like, the last couple of years, it has, like, it's rolling. Everything is, it's a battle royale mode. Like COD has one, Battlefield 5 has one, Apex. There's some ones I don't even play. Royal Royale or something like that. What's that called? There's something like
Realm Royale.
Realm Royale. That's taken over. Everything as a battle royale mode. It's nearly like it's a zombie mode in every game. Do you know, like, it used to be like that. So I'm putting to you guys, do you think that this is the biggest thing in the world right now? And, like, is there anything that would ever take it over in the future?
Yeah, I think. Sorry, Jack, work away.
No. I was kind of just.
All I was going to say was it probably is the biggest thing at the moment. Just like as you were saying, every game, battle royale mode, but like battle royale used to be a thing as well. But like it's. I do when you're talking about, like, will it ever be overtaken? I do believe that there is going to be something. There's going to be some game mode that nobody's thought of yet that is going to be like, oh, this is cool. Even if it's actually just an iteration of Battle Royale. It's Battle Royale, but with this massive twist that also makes it like this completely different game or something completely different. But you know, it's going to have to be massively multiplayer because that's what people play. That's what people play on streams. That's what people play for competitions. Single player games are not dead. I hate that statement.
100% not.
But when you're coming where the money is, it's obviously multiplayer. So the next big thing that's going to overtake it is obviously going to be massively multiplayer. But it is the biggest thing at the moment, in my opinion, because it's I think it's gotten on a bit longer than what you could call a fad. A lot of people are saying Battle Royale is a fad, but I think it's gone on so long now that it's gone beyond the realm of it just being a fad. Do you know what I mean?
That's the biggest statement I hear from people that don't play Fortnite. Fortnite's dying. Fortnite's dying. I'm like, how you don't have any information to back this up? They get it from the statistics that CS:GO or League of Legends are bigger or something. It's like these games are bigger because they have their fan base and they've always had it. Fortnite's building, it's 2 years old. These games are a lot older. That people do stick to their own genre of games, and this is what is kind of happening. Anyone that says that statement, Fortnite is dying, is silly, to be honest, to me. Over Pat, what do you think? Do you think battle royales have taken over the world?
I think it's like every generation you have something that stands out on those consoles. Like for PS1, for me, it was the platformers were still the top of the hill. They were the king of the games, and then they slowly sort of died out over the next generation, and first-person shooters came in.
Okay.
And the first-person shooters have dominated for like the last 2 or 3 generations, and then the battle royale sort of evolved upon the first-person shooter, and this has been it. It is the biggest thing at the moment, and I think it will probably stay there for God knows how long. But I think there will be a point where it will eventually fall off. It won't fall off like big time. Like it will always be there, but it will eventually lose the steam. Like before the tournament actually started, I felt battle royals were just slowly starting to lose steam.
Okay.
Like they just weren't as prominent. But now after the tournament, now I'm after seeing you see so much more of it.
Yeah,
it's like every season of Fortnite as well.
Yeah.
Like usually when it comes to the end of the season, but usually when it comes to the end of the season, you're like, okay, it's starting to slow down a bit. New season, loads of new coverage for it, and it keeps the game alive. It's something that's not been done before.
No.
And it could possibly this could be what keeps the battle royale genre just
going
a league above all other genres that came beforehand.
Yeah. It's a very addictive game, I'll be honest. Fortnite is very addictive. I think it's more of the fact that you can always get better at it. You can always be better. There's always someone better than you, but you can always get better at the game, and that's what keeps you hooked. What about you, Jackie? You think battle royales are taking over the world?
For the moment they are, but I can, like, you've been saying a lot about how different kind of games have come and gone, different genres have come, but I can see Fortnite going, or the battle royale battle royale going the same way. But I can see battle royales kind of going the same route as what zombies did with Call of Duty, wasn't it? Call of Duty 4 that originally had zombies.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it.
Everybody
but then after a year or two, more games started going zombie-like. More games started adding something similar to zombie mode, and people got burnt out on it. You know, 100%. So if all these developers and companies aren't going to burn people out on battle royales, because as you said, there is a lot out there. You've got Apex, you've got Fortnite. They're the two biggest, but you've also got the smaller ones like Realm Royale. You know,
PUBG is still there somewhere. They have their player base. I played that on PlayStation. I swear to God, they have not polished that at all. It's ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing with that game. Sorry, Jack, continue.
But no, like as I said, I can just see it going the same route as what say zombies games have gone, and other kind of different games have gone, because it's going to just have an oversaturated market, and people are going to get very burnt out on it very, very quickly if they're not.
I know what you're saying. So I think a lot of people, if they try to make a battle royale now, it could be in trouble. Like they need to do something like Apex done, where they absolutely smashed day one, where they came out from nowhere to make it people play it, because a lot of people won't jump over to another battle royale. I've played a lot of battle royales and I like some of them, but Fortnite is definitely the best one for me. It's very different from all the rest of them with the building mechanics. There's Battlefield 5 is good because it's a bit more realistic. PUBG is good if polished. To me, battle royales are absolutely huge at the moment, and I think they have taken over a lot of genres. But the problem, I think a lot of people, like we had when we first started playing Fortnite, we had a lot of people playing. Jack had on, Udaming, we had a lot of people that played, and they've fallen off it, and they've gone back to their original games, their one-player games. So I think it's only sticking to its own player base, that people that staying around now, and that's it. You're getting a few people added to it every week because of much marketing they do. Their marketing is superior to everyone else. What they do with the competitive scene and their advertisements and the way that they run the seasons, that you don't know what's happening all the time. It's unreal. They do the events, they do everything. Like, to me, Fortnite is going to be around for a long time. I don't know about PUBG. I think PUBG is releasing another game, and maybe it'd be better. I don't think they should keep releasing Battle Royale games. I don't think they should keep going. I don't think people should bring more of them out, because I don't think they have a chance against the ones that are here already, unless they do something absolutely original, maybe in space or something. We'll go Halo Battle Royale. I'd play it. Halo's a good game, and that's probably what's going to happen. And you're going to get the players from Halo going back to play that game from the Halo player base. That's the only way it's going to go. But I don't know if you've any more to say on it.
Just out of curiosity, is there actually like a battle royale that's just pure melee weapons and not actual guns?
I think there is, but I'm not really sure the name of it. I think there was ones with that were with swords and stuff that was released, but I don't think I've ever played it. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe somebody will know in the chat. Actually, in the chat, if anyone has any questions before we wrap up here, that we really appreciate. And anyone that was here, thanks for watching. And could you drop a follow and a like and anything else? Yeah, for
the original culling. Sorry, the culling was a bit like that, melee focused. One of the OGs. I know the culling too. The less said about that, the better. But the culling was it was very popular in its time. It was before Fortnite. It was before. It wasn't before PUBG, was it?
What's that?
I don't think it was.
What game was that?
The culling.
I don't know.
It was basically,
I actually don't know.
You were dropped on a map. And you had nothing. It was just you and your bare hands, like as we've all seen before. But it was more like it had the crafting elements. It was like you had to find 2 rocks and bang them together and make a spear. It was like a weird mixture of Rust and a battle royale, where you had to make your stuff and go around and kill people.
Was that Minecraft?
Hey, you're talking about a big player to freaking push the envelope. Could you imagine Minecraft battle royale? Get the 2 of them together.
Well, they kind of have one with the Hunger Games.
Probably have one today.
What about Escape from Tarkov Battle Royale?
It kind of is in a weird way. It's a battle royale, but more than one person can win. Like it's a battle royale, but everybody can extract. Really, I suppose it isn't at the same time.
No,
but
that's what I'm saying. It'd be better if it was a battle royale, though. I think it'd do very well. Maybe 50 players, not 100. Could be good.
If it was battle royale, it would kind of. If it was a separate game mode, yeah. But like it would kind of defeat the purpose of building up your PMC and all that. If everybody dropped
different game mode, maybe I could never see it happen because they're very hardcore. The people that make that game are hardcore. I don't think that they would follow anyone else. I think they do their own thing. So it probably never happen.
Yeah, if everybody dropped in as scabs.
That's another thing I forgot to follow, and I forgot to talk about Mersey. We should have dropped this. It's only after coming out this evening that Ninja is switching from Twitch to Mixer, and to be honest, lads, that is massive for Mixer. I do not watch Mixer, but I do watch. I have a couple of boys that are coming on the stream team, and they're on Mixer, and I've watched them play, and it's a good place to grow. But this is massive. Ninja is probably getting sick of Twitch. He wants a new challenge, and he's going for Mixer, and they probably threw millions at him. To be honest,
I was going to say, what's the lump sum?
What's the lump sum? Like, how much would it cost to get Ninja over? Like, I'm talking 10, 15, 20 million. That's what I think it would be to get him to go anywhere, and he will absolutely rake money in for them. Like, it's unbelievable. What do you guys think of this switch?
Yeah, I think he has the fan base. They're going to follow. It's a great move by Mixer. I think it's a fantastic move. Like Ninja, he could have stayed going.
3 subs for 2 months.
I don't know if you had any complaints with Twitch or anything like that. I know a lot of people are having complaints with Twitch recently about several different things. I don't know whether it was just the money, or if it was just he wanted a new challenge, or if he was having issues with Twitch. But either way, it's a great decision. It's a great marketing thing on Mixer's point of view. Anyway, it's fantastic.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Facebook didn't try and get him. Maybe they did. Like Facebook's trying their best to grow as a platform, and maybe they did try. Probably wouldn't pay him as much. Pat, what do you think of this move?
No, honestly, I'm curious now because he is the biggest streamer. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
But with him moving to Mixer now, with all the other big streamers from Twitch start to move over now, that is the big question. Or will they try and take over his place on Twitch?
Yeah, well, I can see some people sticking around. It's hard to know. It depends if how much money do they throw at them. That's kind of the big thing. Money talks, lads. You know, if someone comes to you and you say, "I'll give you this, you're guaranteed this many subs," our algorithms are a lot better than Twitch, which is true because Twitch algorithms are so hard. And not that Ninja would have a problem getting viewers, but it's a lot different than Twitch. Mixer is a lot more open and shows a lot more people and gets the views. You know, that kind of way.
It's the same way as D-Live. D-Live basically bought PewDiePie. PewDiePie streams everything directly to D-Live now. I hadn't heard of the streaming service.
I've never even looked at D-Live before. I don't
know.
No,
but they basically everything he streams now, he streams to D-Live. Because he is obviously he's a contract with him or something. But so it's a thing that's happening. People are poaching people because as you know, PewDiePie, he ruffled a few feathers at YouTube and everywhere he goes. So D-Live are kind of like, hey, if those people won't pay it to stream, we'll pay it to stream. Yeah. His last Twitch stream was said that his notorious one did not go too well. I won't say what he said, but he said a naughty word.
Oh, naughty boy. Unitex is after saying, I think we need to bear in mind that it's not just gamers who rake in the view on Twitch. Critical Role is a massive D&D campaign, brings in millions of views too. Yeah, that to be honest, that's the Twitch has loads of different sections on it, and the Just Talk does better than the gaming, and all the rest of them, like the art and all that, does all better. Maybe because they're saturated, there's so many gaming, so they show the art style, the arts and stuff more. I know Unitex draws on it, which is fantastic. D&D now is not something I've ever played, but I can understand why people love it. I've seen people play it and it looks good. Have you ever played D&D?
I played one slight bit of a campaign once when I went back to college, and it's fun. But there's so much when you're a beginner. I was playing with lads, and I felt like I was that guy who kept asking questions. But other than that, it was fun.
But I think we're doing a lot more on Facebook and stuff. And it's a lot easier to get views on Facebook than it is on Twitch. Maybe it's just the content's not great. Anyone else anything to say about Ninja moving?
That's all I'm gonna say is I'm very surprised by it. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays.
Will you guys be? Did you ever watch Ninja? Would you have any? Would you have?
I've watched Ninja. Yeah. He's alright.
Would you jump to Mixer to watch him?
No, it's not that I don't really watch Mixer too much. I'm not that much of a fan. I'd watch him the odd time if he was kind of like Dr. Disrespect. I turn it on sometimes to see what they're up to, but I have other streamers that aren't would play games that I more like to watch, but they are very interesting to watch though.
Okay. Has anyone got any questions in the chat before we wrap up here? What about you guys? What have you? Any plans this week, boys? Are you streaming? Are you anything on the cards? John, you releasing any videos?
Actually, since you're asking me, by the way, Too Old for Gaming, TOOOLD.
Hit that channel, boys. He's funny. He's funny as gaming. Because he's funny as
Twitch and YouTube. You can check me there. But next week I'm actually releasing a slew of new content on the YouTube channel. I'm going to be playing. I'm coming back to the what's it called? Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy and Papers, Please, 2 series I never finished that I'm finally going to finish. Okay. And I'm playing Streets of Rogue and The Binding of Isaac, so 2 new series is there as well.
Jesus, you're a busy man. Busy man. Jack, what about yourself?
Well, the new Crash Team Racing Grand Prix starts now tomorrow, so I'll probably be streaming some of that, do the new track, try out the new
Have we got a schedule down, Jack?
Not yet, no.
No.
There's works all over the place.
Yeah, that's it. You get different hours all the time, don't you?
So it's with my hours being all over the place. I can't set a set schedule, but I'll be trying to get on either tomorrow night or Saturday to try out the new CTR track, try out the new character, see how it goes.
Okay, buy a few skins.
Yeah.
Pat, what are we working on?
I am going to be finishing up the Bloodborne review, and my God, it's long. It's good. It's over 20 minutes. So it's been a bit of an experience. So it has.
Can't wait.
Fair enough.
Bloodborne. But trying out a few new ideas with it to see if they work in the review format. If not, then they'll be tossed out the window immediately for the next one. So
that's it.
Yeah, that should be this Sunday coming. So you have
Nice.
that to look forward to. And also, just 1 second.
Oh yeah, the giveaway.
There's a competition going on, for if people haven't seen it, where we are giving away this beautiful little deluxe figure.
Oh my god!
OMG.
Oh my god, Crash Bandicoot.
Who is that guy?
It's good because it has deluxe in its name. Deluxe.
All you have to do to win that is to like the page, share the post, and drop an out comment. Or, you know, we're looking for the amount of likes, lads. We have to build the page, you know, get it up there, get seen, get known. Hopefully the hype will be behind us someday. Myself, I'd probably be streaming. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm probably going to stream Fortnite and maybe a bit of Escape from Tarkov. I think I have a free day tomorrow, lads, so we'll try to go for a long time. I don't think there's any questions, which is grand. So let's sign off. I suppose we've already done it, but we can do it again. John, where can we find you?
The people can find me at Too Old for Gaming. That's TOOOLD, the number 4 gaming, all one word, and that is on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Okay, Pat, give us a sign.
Hey.
I love your hat. Be honest, Pat with the hat. Let's go.
You can find me over on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, it's Twitter. You can find me on Twitter where I go under the name of Pat Gone Mad with a capital R at the end, because Twitter only allows so many letters in a name. The buggers. Apart from that, you'll see me around the community on Facebook, and sure, you'll see my reviews up on the YouTube page.
Yeah, I love your reviews, bye.
Love them.
Jack, I want to see you streaming 5 times this week. Right, that's your order, sir. Where can we find you, Jackie boy?
The good folks can find me over at the Platinum Jack on Twitch, and that's really the only place I update anymore.
Twitch. Do you got
everybody?
Like, to be honest, boys, this is where it comes down to. The Republic of Players is set up for the community in Ireland to share their content, and I want to grow that everybody gets seen, everybody gets heard. If you see somebody posting in the group that wants to drop a follow, mates, show a bit of like support to each other, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the community. Jack is trying to grow, I'm trying to go, John's trying to go, and there's loads of people in the community trying to go. Drop in a follow, drop in and say hello. There's no harm in it. If you watch Twitch, give these lads a chance. These lads, John is one of the funniest streamers I've ever seen, and I think, to be honest, he's very underrated. Jack is going to be flying and trying to do speed runs and everything like that there, and it's brilliant. And Pat is just fantastic at reviews, and I don't deserve him, to be honest. You can find me at the Republic of Players anywhere, anytime, on the group. You can chat to me if you need anything business. Just give me an email. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed it. I miss Ronan. He's a great host.
Ronan,
and hopefully he'll be back next week. He's got some issues. He's got some family things he's got to do. He's a great family man. He'll be back next week. We're gonna sign off. I'm sorry there was no videos this week. There was a problem with OBS. I'll see you again next week. Bye.